The BBC documentary The Princes and the Press aired on Monday evening after three royal households united to criticise the broadcaster. Buckingham Palace, Kensington Palace and Clarence House issued a statement condemning the broadcaster for the overblown and unfounded claims in the documentary. On Wednesday's This Morning, royal editor Camilla Tominey discussed Prince William's particular grievance towards the BBC during a discussion with Philip Schofield, Holly Willoughby, and Nick Ferrari. Philip began, "Let's start with the royals' anger towards a new documentary. Duke and Duchess of Cambridge reportedly banned the BBC from screening their Christmas Carol concert following the controversial new documentary Princes and the Press. It's not just about that documentary though," Camilla replied. "It's a bit of a storm in a teacup. I'm in it and I talk a bit about getting the scoop of Harry and Meghan's relationship back in 2016. And Terry's some chatter about how the palace and the press operate alongside each other, and as you guys know and Nick knows, Terry's a bit of a tug of war going on often. They don't want negative stories in the papers, we want to run what we want to run if we've got it stood up." Read more. There was a suggestion about whether elements inside the palace were briefing against Harry and Meghan, she continued. "Interestingly, I spoke to Amal Rajan, the media editor that's done the documentary back in November 2020. So that was 4 months before it came to light that there has been a bullying allegation made against the Sussexes, and equally before they did their Oprah Winfrey interview in March of 2021. I don't know what the second episode is going to say. I didn't comment on that. I know it's been edited to the wire, particularly in light of Meghan's apology to court for misleading the court over collaborating with the Finding Freedom biography." Holly asked, "Do you think what's come out since it aired will have an impact on the edit? Do you think they'll be pulling back?" Camilla replied, "The Palace Fury line, which has been kind of perpetuated by the press for the last few days, seems to me a bit overblown. There's nothing particularly new in this documentary." "But have they moved their Christmas Carol concert from the BBC to ITV?" Philip asked. "Apparently so, but that could be because Prince William is really angry with the BBC about the Martin Bashir stuff," Camilla quipped. "I mean, he issued after all of that blew back up in the BBC's face, issued a really strongly worded statement saying, you know, we need to rethink everything that my mother said after that point and how she was manipulated, and any fictional or otherwise depictions of my mother in light of the fact that she was hoodwinked and tricked by Martin Bashir. He's vehement about that. He is still very angry about it, and so is the Earl of Spencer. That was decided a while ago," Philip interjected. "We've had that response for quite some time. This looks like a very recent thing, so it's got something to do with the airing of that documentary." Camilla answered, "Well, maybe, or maybe just the timing of the decision-making. I don't know. Nobody's come out and said, William and Kate are so furious about this individually that this is the decision, and it could be for any number of reasons. You know what TV's like, it could be, we had a BBC last time, let's go with ITV this time." Often, Terry's an alternating of broadcasters when it comes to major royal events. Holly added, "It's certainly not going to help the relationship between the royals and the BBC, is it? What is happening where you live? Find out by adding your postcode or visit in your area," Nick explained. "No, it's not. I watched it last night." The standout star is, of course, Camilla, and I was delighted to see she observed the journalist's code despite continuing questioning. She wasn't going to give up her source, and well done, Camilla. As you know, we never give away our sources. What did I learn from it? Very little. It was in journalist terms a trip around the bay. We pretty much heard all of it, and I do hope in as egregious as the press was in its hacking of phones, and I am not an apologist, I do hope we see the Martin Bashir story. I would argue that the stance taken by William in moving the transmission of a show to ITV, I would say that is far more informed by that appalling piece of journalism, which it wasn't, with that interview, that contrived interview with his late mum. I believe that's what's driven it, and I hope that's reflected in next week's show. This Morning airs on ITV on weekdays at 10 a.m.